well, maybe we'll make a breakthrough before my voice breaks as we go back into story time with Mark playing Disco Elysium. But, oh, it's changed. The people we were questioning have all gone. Okay, so things have moved on. We've got a murderer to catch in this. Anyway, how is everyone tonight? Apache, nice to see you back. How are you doing? You looking forward to a wild weekend full of parties and other forms of entertainment? What the hell's going on with this cable? This cable on my headset has been a real nuisance this week. I don't know what I've done differently, but it doesn't sit like it used to. It keeps getting caught up in my arm. Okay, so we're live, we're recording, we've got everything playing. I was hoping to try and grab a free beer off here, but I can't, and nor can I look out of the window anymore, which is very curious. That option has gone. Interesting. Interesting. Right. So, take a look at my tasks. Get the whole story. Oh, ooh, we've got to go and find more from Klasia, the dancer upstairs. Inspect some invisible insect traps. Smoke on the balcony for tomorrow night. I need to go in to get some sleepy time done as well on this. Forge some signatures. And I need to go and ask... Yes, I need to go and ask Klasia. But when Kim's not around, so how am I going to do that? I could send him to bed. Find the murder weapon. Right, okay, lots of stuff to do. Lots of stuff to do. Can I send him to bed, actually? Say, I got it from here.
Yes.
Did we pay for this place for the night? Let me just go and check. Because if we have, I'm going to go to sleep here. I don't think we did, but I'm going to go and check. The only party you'll be having is arty parties. World of Tanks. Even though you're at uni, you're not really one for clubs. Pubs, on the other hand, I know exactly what you mean. I don't do nightclubs. There's it's too loud. You can't talk to your mates. You can't hear what anyone's saying, and you can't have a good bit of banter in them. They're full of drunken idiots, and the prices of the drinks are way too expensive. He's gone to bed. Excellent. That's us done. Right. Hopefully he ain't going to come out. Cool. Quick save. I am in dangerous ground with my health there, so a good night's rest will fix that. Terrible music too. I totally agree. Not like when I were a lad and went out clubbing. Although, to be honest, I always preferred... I did like techno for a bit. I would go and dance to that, but I honestly preferred the nightclubs where it had like what people classed as cheesier, older music. And they're the ones I found the most fun. Really enjoyed that, but that's going back a day or two. I'm not one for nightclubs now. Good old country pub with a proper log fire going somewhere in the corner. Yeah, that's about my level now. Some nice beer on tap. Some good mates around. A bit of banter. Where's she gone? Okay. This wasn't part of the plan. She's run off. I'm not going to kick the door in because I am going to break my foot. This wasn't part of the plan. Huh. Unless she's gone downstairs for a drink. Actually, I didn't see if she was in her bathroom. That could be a little bit disturbing if I get her in there. You like you're the pub type as well? Good stuff. I'm gonna wade into her bathroom, you know. Is she in? No. So where's she gone? Oh, that's bad news, because if I can't find her, we'll have to leave the lieutenant in there. I think I'm paid up for the night, so I think I can actually sleep in this place. Which would be okay. She's not down here, is she? Well, that's a shame, because that's kind of stuffed my priorities for this evening.
Was there something you needed?
Was there anything I needed? Well, bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude. I brought him a stuffed grouse. Can I... Oh, I can tell him about the phone line. Yes, Klasia in room 3. She nicked the phone line. Why? He stops himself. No, F it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. You have Lena. Lena is a good customer. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she? Is she not? Anyway, I'll forward that woman a bill and be done with it. Now, was there anything else? No. Okay, I got some XP for it. I don't fancy running all the way down to the docks, so I'm going to go to bed here if I can. Maybe she's with the left tenant? The left tenant, yes. Possibly. Old Kim. Sly old dog. I don't think so, though. But apparently I can still... I'm still good to rest in here, I think. But it's yours. Still cold from the broken window. Not too inviting, but it's yours. One more night. And then we sleep in the nicer cabin place. Bed. It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what you feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping. Trippy dream sequence coming up. I don't know what these dreams mean, but I'm sure they're not good.
Thoughts, baby.
I knew it. I knew he'd be back.
A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
I don't want to hear these voices in my sleep. They're disturbing.
Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning, spinning. Tell me, am I dreaming?
No, you're spinning tapes at the discotheque.
That'd be good.
The great unceasing disco of the mind. The flash. The bang. The endless learning experience.
Spinning on empty.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance.
My ex-wife?
Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
It's very poetic, but it seems a little bit dark the way this voice is talking about it.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the potted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
That's weird. Hey, Crisis, how's it going? You must have missed something with talking to lizard people. No, that's just our... It says ancient reptilian brain. That's our deepest, darkest inner self, I think. Our base sort of instinct. That's how I interpret it anyway. But who knows what it really is, because we'll find out at the end of the game, I'm sure. What is this thing I'm looking
It's
at?
the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
Is that saying that the world shaped me the way I am, and that's it, and it can't be undone? I am what I am, and that's all that I am? Said Popeye.
You can never forget this shit.
That's true. The colours, the voices.
All stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsake.
I don't know whether that's referring to my career as a detective or my case, the fact that I'm homeless and living like a bum. I don't know.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? the endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin.
I think I already am.
Just know you will. And for what, brother man?
I think that's my deep inner self telling me to just give in and give up. And I'm going to resist that.
Solving
I
your
know that
little
feeling.
crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off your lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
It's saying that no matter what I try to do, it's not going to make it okay because my ex-wife has gone. Although we don't know if she left. I can't remember the start of the game. Did it say she left? Mind you, my guy didn't know who he was at the start of the game, so he's unlikely to remember. I think she's actually died. I think she's actually been killed or something like that. Either that or my devotion to the job's driven her away, or my alcoholism, or my drug addiction. Or just me. Maybe it's that tie. Maybe it's that expression. Maybe it's the big whiskers. I don't know. We'll find out. Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
And they were filled with weird dreams. You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. I think the dreams are getting better, actually. I think I can manage them now. They're not quite as scary. I think I'm understanding them a bit better. She told you to shave and you didn't listen. That's why she left. It could happen. I did Movember for charity a few years ago. Grew a moustache. And my wife hated it so much. She agreed with the charity thing. She just said, can't you find something else to do for charity? She's given me fair warning that if I did that again, but not for charity, if I grew a moustache for the sake of it, that I'd be spending a lot of time by myself, I think was the way she put it. Okay, so we're up and awake. It's 7:30. I've got money in my pocket. I ain't paying no more bills. Do you think she might have come back? I seriously think she's gone for good, but I'm going to take a look before the lieutenant turns up. Because I don't know where she is otherwise, and I'm kind of disappointed now. I feel like I've missed the opportunity to get information out of her. I hope she hasn't left. Oh, is that rain I hear? Oh, she's back. So where did she go last night? Oh, we have questions now. Pro gamer move would be to grow a moustache and get more time to stream. Well, I would have more time. It's not my wife that
It's always good to
takes
see
up my
you.
time. It's just other crap. She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing. Something in her demeanour has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come. Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. Ah, yes. She pours herself some more coffee. She still hasn't offered me a coffee, the bitch. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. It's one of the first things I remember doing in Elysium. Wow, she nods. Elysium. You don't hear that term often. Did you hear something Sunday night from my room? There was the usual ruckus, she nods. Loud disco music. Did I have any visitors? I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. You mentioned loud disco music. Oh yeah, various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them. She arches her eyebrow, waiting for it to connect with you. Oh, that. Yeah. Ooh, the less said about... Ooh, the better. Oh. Orchestration ostentatious. They were huge where I came from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, she says, half singing. But we go on. Yeah, we go on all right. I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. What happened? A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time, you were yelling along to it. Was I singing this? Show her the empty case of the smallest church in Sanson. Yes! There was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also, what else? That it doesn't matter anymore. And that we are alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft. But you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. When you say wounded, do you mean that in a cool way, like a wild beast? Yes, it was very cool. It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or really means it. Then what happened? Then you started screaming and trashed the place. Are you sure I wasn't being assaulted? No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. She takes a sip of her coffee and smiles. A window was smashed. Tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real deconstructathon. They were screaming. Then I think you passed out. Was there anything else? There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5, she nods. And that was it. Thank you. I'm going to say thanks. That was quite a nice rundown of what I did. What I want to know was my car still there when you went out? No problems there. She feeds herself another cigarette. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened. I understand. She puts her coffee mug on the table. Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched. Her feet long and straight. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this. I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time. This is good. Clear the air first between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Yes, Volition has told me something is off about everything that's been to do with this lady here. Rhetoric. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. I love it when your senses start arguing with each other. Why did you waste my time then, if you knew I would find out? Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. She looks at her feet. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. That's not a good enough reason. You're right. There's more. More? You answer to the coalition government and, by extension, the moral intern. She reaches for a new cigarette. Oh, yeah, she's wanted overseas, isn't she? Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay into the horizon, grey and pale violet in the morning. What lies beyond it? The pale, the Mundii Solar, the Occident, and then Orania, the old, old world. Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern? She nods. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. She lights a cigarette. What's going on? What did you do? Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records officer, they will find me. They will say hello to Indigo. Hi Indigo, how's it going? What happens if they find you? They'll kill me, officer. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. Get the whole story from Titus. Oh, excellent. There's a wince and a pained little smile. Well, then I'm screwed for nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. Nothing to do with her? You'll be the judge of that. What did you do to have these people after you? It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Orania. What exactly did you do? Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company, the kind you really, really don't screw with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. Who did you do this to? And on whose behalf? The job was Loose-Doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Loose Cap conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. I like how the rain seems to have stopped, because I can hear the difference. That's nice weather effects. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know, but they're after me too. Along with Loose Cap and their friends in the MI. She breathes out heavily. Once you've done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. Loose cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papa Lolo line of dairy products. The developers have created some hellish deep background for all of this stuff. I'm going to say, Papa Lolo. Yeah, Papa Lolo wants to kill me. She smiles. I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than this. Sure, I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people too, not just C-suite. She shakes her head at the thought. A lot of people got hurt, she concludes, but there's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. What happened here the night he died? We were there, she points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together, in bed, I mean. Tell me exactly what happened, and I don't know what details she's going to go into in this. Okay, she takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. I knew it. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I'm trying to picture this. Kneeling position. She was on her back. It's not the image that I immediately conjured up. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass, a bullet hole in the glass. She was on her back, and he was in a kneeling position. It'd be very unlikely the shot was meant for her, as she would be mostly obscured, I think. We need Quagmire from Family Guy here. He would know. He'd be able to recreate the positions perfectly with extras, and we'd be able to work out what exactly happened. I turned back to him. She breathes out, a moment's silence. His eyes were looking through me and his mouth was open, dumb. I could. A great pain moves through her. A dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. Then what happened? He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. She points through the window. He only had his boots on. It's got this image. This wonderful image. He only had his boots on. And he was still at it. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides. Then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come, for me. I thought there would be one. It never came. That's true. There would be ample opportunity for the killer to get a second shot if she was the intended target. Giggity. A fellow Family Guy fan there, I see. She clearly wasn't the intended target in this. I waited for the second shot to come for me. I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butter's burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss? Oh, she looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. I'm sorry this happened to you. So am I. She immediately proceeds to light another one. What time was this? 11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. Wait, Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual. Titus said you looked pretty high. Oh yeah, she tilts her head. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head. So she's not giving us the full story voluntarily here. Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset. Shush you. I don't need my drug addiction talking to me right now. Did you hear or see the shooter at any point? No. What did you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room, downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up. Drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of the room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there'd be people there. And what happened after you ran downstairs? Sylvie was tending the bar. She looks down. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the union box was full. Ruby was there too. Who's Ruby? I don't think we've met Ruby. They were having such a good time. She pauses. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Ruby, exactly. Thank you. I am in tune with my inner self. And I've been paying attention as well. That's what I'm most impressed with. I've been paying attention. Hey, Goliath. Welcome back. How are you tonight? Looking forward to the weekend? So before we continue, who is Ruby? Ruby, you know, the leader. Leader of what? The Hardy Boys, she says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. Okay, so Ruby is the 8th Hardy Boy that they refused to tell me anything. Well, did they tell me anything in the end? We were questioning her about it on the last stream, weren't we? I do remember. Bits. Okay, let's go on. What then? Well, Ruby said, let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation. That I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped to get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright. They tampered with the body to disguise the cause of death. You were tampering with the body? Yes. Ruby said the blood in him would look like a hanging. Then what did you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely. Oh, that's the guy who's dead, isn't he? In the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armour too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did. And this Ruby. Where is this Ruby now? Make Titus give up Ruby's location. I don't know. I haven't seen her since. Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble? To hide something someone else did? Look into this later. There's something suspicious about that theory, but you can't put your finger on it. There's something going on. Something that we know is going on. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot? When he was shot? She thinks. I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. So if that would be the first thing you would hear, I suppose. I'm not going to ask if she killed Laylee, because I don't believe she did. Could the people after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. And? I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at a cigarette. So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. It probably didn't. Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here. She looks at the table. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from Loose Cap. They don't screw things like this up. Why do you call the cops if you're hiding? Because I'm an idiot. The answer comes fast. Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot? She's nothing of the sort. Logic doesn't agree with my reaction speed, my initial reactions. I don't think so. Why did you do it? You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting, and then they picked his clothes off him, and that little guy threw stones at him. Her jaw is clenched, her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. She shakes her head. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revachol. She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. So she definitely called the cops. I think it's because she loved this guy. I do think she was very emotionally attached to him. And she just couldn't stand to see that happening to him anymore. I think that's the reason. Despite the risks attached to it for her. And when was the window changed?